This is Aletha Archeri presenting for Fall 2017 Seminar in Curriculum and Instruction. This is a very similar presentation as from Spring 2017 with some modifications. Since the 1950s, there has been a push for educational reform driven by our country's government. The Elementary and Secondary Education Act was pushed by President Johnson as a way to address poverty and competition among countries. Unfortunately, there is still disagreement. Educators have spent prison time as a result of trying to maintain educational policy standards, and protesting by teachers has been seen as recently as this year. Questions related to this disconnect remain the same. Are teachers choosing to express themselves in ways that policy reformers pay attention? Are teachers' voices stronger than statistics of successful policy implementation? Are teachers engaged in legislative activities in ways that enhance their own professional development? Evidence is there that teacher voice in public spaces is not isolated. There is a desire to look into this arena. As a result, this study will address the level of teacher visibility in educational policy change, as well as if teacher leadership is viewed and promoted from their perspective. There are now 2 sets of survey data that will be used for measurement. TALIS information will see what prevents teachers from gaining the professional development that could eventually lead to their expertise in policy changes. 44A could also let us know what they feel about in-house leadership. We want to see the null hypothesis that more teachers who see more barriers to professional development also do not feel their schools have opportunities for staff to actively participate in school decisions. There is an addition to this research. PISA will also be used. PISA statements measured teacher participation in leadership from the school's point of view, as well as transformational leadership views as reflected in teacher feelings regarding the head of school's role. These will be used as well. With the null hypothesis, we hope to see that teachers who shared high views on teacher leadership at their school also exhibit high transformational leadership values. TALIS survey questions formed the basis of the initial test. Most recently in 2013, this was administered to over 5 million teachers in 34 countries. It is currently being developed for 2018. It measures teaching efficacy, background, school climate, as well as teacher mobility. The Program for International Student Assessment is administered through the Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development. The data used in this study was collected in 2015 with information released in 2016. Over 500,000 15-year-olds were assessed in math, technology literacy, science, and reading. Schools and administrators were evaluated, and teachers had the option of completing a questionnaire. This is how we will pull our data for today. ANOVA was used for both test sets because it is useful for determining if a significant difference in mean scores exist across groups. I believe that the TALIS survey information will align both tests to determine a pattern with feelings about decision-making in-house, and we will see in PISA through aligning both means to determine a pattern with feelings about leadership opportunities that our null hypothesis is true. In our TALIS data, you will see a degree of freedom of 3, and between groups, 0.000 indicates that there is significance. The line graph provided also shows through the slope that there is a relationship. Teachers who strongly disagree with the statement that their school provides opportunities to participate in school decisions also share a high mean of feeling that there are barriers to their professional development. As we look to see teachers who strongly agree with the statement, we also see fewer barriers perceived. There are more teachers still who feel that time conflicts present more barriers than relevant professional developments offered. More data can be examined with ANOVA testing through post hoc tests. With the exception of two categories, significance is still evident here. The two categories with no significance align strongly disagree with our dependent variable of barriers to school climate. We can also show homogeneous subsets that show the amount of teachers who weighed in on the categories. Regarding our PISA information, a one-way between subjects ANOVA was conducted to compare the confidence of principals in decision-making and the weighted likelihood estimate of their transformational leadership view from teachers. There was a significant effect of independent variable transformation leadership teachers' view on the dependent variable with the following conditions. F equals 247,737.907 with a significance of 0.000. A post hoc test was not performed due to the large number of groups. An analysis graph was conducted with PISA as well, and it is seen that there is a correlation between the principal involved in decision making, allowing teachers to be involved in decision making, and the transformational leadership teacher's view, in that as one trend goes up, as the other one does as well. So to analyze the information, we discovered that with both ANOVA tests for TALIS and PISA, we noticed that the views are statistically significant, with both equaling 0.000. The lines of means graph for TALIS notice that there is a high percentage of teachers who do not feel their school climate is one that provides opportunities to participate in school decisions. This corresponds with a high percentage of teachers who view barriers in their professional development. This shows that our null hypothesis is in fact correct. Likewise, with the scatter plot, how school leaders ensure teacher progress, transformational leadership views increase as well. So our null hypothesis is correct here as well. Potential limitations include having teachers who may not be skilled enough to share policy-making responsibilities. There's no evidence citing the levels of success in that type of training. Teachers may be fully engaged in leadership positions at their school, but again, there's no evidence showing that the schools are more successful as a result of this engagement. PISA was administered to many countries, but excluded countries in Africa. Also, the teacher questionnaire was optional, so it was clear that not all teachers participated in that survey. Data was organized by country, and so even though the questionnaire was to be anonymous, the teachers ran the risk of having their identity revealed, since this is an optional questionnaire. Answers may not reveal the true feelings in case of retribution at work. Potential implications would also include further research that would also show us if teachers understand the importance of their voices in government affairs, and if the non-government officials are considered in other countries to have active roles in the field of education. In here, now that we understand that there is proof that there's significance between barriers of leadership climates, now that we are able to show teachers the information from TALIS and PISA, we can prove that teacher desire is evident. We can prove that teachers will become the necessary arbiters in the process of reformation, and new policy will align with realities in the classroom so that they mirror what exactly is seen by the people who are in the forefront, who are the teachers. Now we can understand the views of development and leadership. Research encourages teacher participation in the entire process of policy modification and improvement. All must be made aware.